might be game.
Yeah, it's
just one push and that's
Look
it.
at that. We've got every single kind of dragon apart from Electro Dragon. Look at all of that mess. This is insane. Oh, the rocket, we've seen that before. Will it be enough?
But the double rocket comes out. That'll be enough.
That's it. And in the, actually on the, the longest
5 HP in that top left with 3 seconds left. That could be the point.
Brought to you by Vodafone. The future is exciting. Are you ready? TCL for the next level visual technology. And JBL, enhance the way you listen.
Good afternoon and good evening, Clash Royale fans, and welcome back to the High School League Clash Royale Split 1 of 2020. We are here with Grand Finals night. My name is Jonathan Arkadian Jansen, and we are here with my lovely co-host and expert analyst, Belinda Hope, aka Blendy. Blendy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, we've been playing so much Clash Royale in our bubble this week, and all the people that I've convinced to join up in the game, one of them got their first legendary this week, so it's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, exciting times. I remember my first legendary back in the day, one of many, until you realize you need like 20 of them to level it up at some stage, which becomes slightly more depressing, but alas, that is the name of the game. But tonight, before we kick off, we did mention it is the grand finals, which means tonight we will be crowning Australia and New Zealand's High School League Clash Royale champion. But before we get into that, we have some disappointing news. And so after investigation, Barnes Babes, the team that last week made it into the finals, has unfortunately been found to be account sharing, falsifying information, and impersonating. Now, this is against the LPL anti-cheat policy, and so sadly, we will see Barnes Babes disqualified from the High School League Split 2020. Their playoff matches have been overturned, and the players will be banned from all LPL-sanctioned events until 2021.
This type of unsportsmanlike behaviour is completely unacceptable and will not be taken lightly. And hopefully this is a lesson that can be learned by these players. If you'd like to know any more information about this ruling, you can look it up on the HSL website at hsl.letsplay.live.
And so if you are wondering what that means for the tournament, let's take a look at the tournament bracket now to see what we do have in store for tonight. Now, with that behind us, it means that in the quarterfinals, when Barnes Babes knocked out Nossel now have a chance in the semifinals versus Funeral Parlour, who also lost in the semifinals, which means our first match of tonight will be Funeral Parlour versus Nossel to see who's competing in both the bronze final and in the final match, which is an amazing second chance for both of these teams. But while we get into those matches and get them taken a look at, let's return to the tournament structure to see what we're competing against. So for the quarterfinals, during our playoff stages, we have the top 8 teams who are competing in 3 weeks of playoffs. This is grand final night. This is still a single elimination bracket, which means that all the matches will now be best of 3s. The 2v2 is a best of 3, then the 1v1 is a best of 3, and if we get to a set 3 as a tiebreaker, we will be going to a King of the Hill.
Well, you know, I hope that everybody is settling in for an exciting night of gaming, because we know that with these teams being all the best of the best, we are very likely to go to a King of the Hill. So sit tight. This is going to be the grand final night.
Absolutely exciting matches, and this is what we're playing for. Everything has come down to this. So thanks to Vodafone New Zealand, winners can choose from Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, or Vodafone credit to the value of $750 for our championship team. Second place is walking away with $525 worth of value, and third place can walk away with $300 worth of value. As well as that, thanks to JBL, teams will be walking away with an amazing audio setup. First place team walking away with $750 in the JBL Quantum 400 headphones and the JBL Clip 3 speakers. Second place walking away with the JBL Quantum 300s and the JBL Go 2 speaker to the value of $525. And the third place team will be walking away with $300 worth of extra value in the form of the JBL Quantum 200 headphones. And those teams are going to be crowned tonight. How awesome is this?
This is so incredible. You know, I was thinking about all of the other high school sports that there are, and the ultimate prize is a trophy and prestige. But not only do our Clash Royale winners get prestige, they get that incredible incredible prize pack to take away and go back to school and say, hey, look, I represented our school and our country, and this is what we've got. But, you know, I don't think that's everything, is it?
No, not quite all, because if those stakes weren't high enough, then TCL have come to the party instead for the championship team. For the overall winners, they'll also be walking away with 3 TCL Plex mobile phones. Now, each of these phones is worth $499 Australian. That's $1,500 worth of smartphone coming their way. So let's take a look at the TCL Plex mobile.
The new TCL Plex mobile phones. See visuals come to life on a premium 6.3-inch HD display powered by its own display engine developed by TCL. With triple rear cameras and a long-lasting, fast-charging battery at a great price, the TCL Plex is the perfect all-rounder phone.
And we've been looking at these prizes all tournament. Every single week we look over them and go, man, what an amazing prize back. But we will be giving these away tonight. Or I guess I should rephrase that. These players will earn these prizes tonight. And that's exciting.
Certainly is. I can't wait to be able to find out who gets them. And I bet the players can't wait either. Everything is riding on how well they play tonight. No pressure, guys.
Just these games. And so, let's take a look at the tournament bracket one more time, just so we can take a look at tonight's brackets. For those of you who have missed out, we will be seeing Funeral Parlour versus Nossel in the semi-final match again tonight to determine who goes into the finals and who goes into the bronze finals. We will then be going into the bronze final match with the loser of our first match, and then we will be crowning a winner tonight for Australia and New Zealand for the Clash Royale Championship. And so without further ado, let's take a look at our first match of tonight. We have Funeral Parlour from Burnside High School versus Nossel from Nossel High School. Blendy, what do we know about these two teams?
Well, this is our classic New Zealand versus Australia matchup that everybody loves to see. So Nossel are from Melbourne. And did you know that last year they had a huge Clash Royale club in their school, but they've had a phone ban at school, so that's kind of cancelled the club. But I feel like now that they've reached an international tournament, perhaps their school might be able to give some special consideration to allowing their phones back so they can play. So I am very excited to see these teams play. And let me tell you the bands we have got for the 2v2 bands. We have got Rocket and Royal Giant.
Royal Giant was a pretty popular band last week as well. Disrupted a lot of teams. But yeah, we're going to see. It's exciting to see getting into this match. Funeral Parlour, obviously, or both these teams feeling like a little bit of a second chance coming into this match. Both of them thought they were knocked out, or Funeral Parlour was going to be in the bronze final. But we will be kicking off right into the match straight away to see which one of these teams will be progressing into the final. And so let's see how we go. Just loading into the match now. And it is Jaden is Pro and CGL on the side of Funeral Parlour for Burnside High School versus Clyde and Elek for Nossel. Representing their school, opening up with the minor early.
Now, Clyde, you might remember from a few weeks ago, they're the one who are a chess champion and even flew to Greece to represent Australia. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it gives us some credit to his strategic mind. The giant skeleton in here getting knocked down. I don't think he's going to really make it anywhere, but that bomb might take out a decent amount of that baby dragon's health. All of it, actually. And blow darting his way through the Electro Wizard. Early trades here coming up in favor of Nossel. Nossel being knocked out in the quarterfinal, so there's a lot more for them. They could be going straight into the finals after this match. That's a pretty exciting prospect for them.
Certainly is. Now we've got the Lava Hound and Baby Dragon coming in. I wonder if we're going to see the double Lava Hound. Oh, yes, we are.
A very good prediction there. Inferno's targeted on the Baby Dragon. Unfortunately, not quite the Lava Hounds just yet. Really good Tornado just there. But it will not make it. Those two Lava Hounds are going to go to town on that tower. There's not a whole lot that Nossel are able to do about it.
No, not really. I mean, this double Lava Hound routine is a classic favourite of Funeral Parlour.
Absolutely, and here goes the first tower. It's going to be dropping one more hit. After that, not. Are they going to be able to get it? Yes, they can. First crown down for Funeral Parlour. Fantastic start with still 1 minute and 15 seconds left into the game, and the board resets.
And straight down with a miner, and the giant skeleton does the miner. Not too much trouble there.
And the hut's being placed down there. Distracts the Ram Rider. Not able to get that damage down. Giant skeleton might have done pretty well going down that left-hand channel. The bomb would have almost taken that out.
Yeah, there was a good distraction there. It got distracted a couple of times. It didn't manage to drop its payload, sadly.
Nossel doing everything they can to try and defend against this push. A couple of dragons there that need to be taken out, which will happen. And Funeral Parlour doing a great job defending that very low tower. Can they do it against the skeleton barrel?
I think that skeleton barrel is going to get through and drop its skeletons. That could be just tower. Look at that. And the skeletons still remain. They're heading into the king tower. Look at that. Okay, so we've evened things up.
Here's our first.
We're going to go into overtime.
We will. 5 seconds left. A little bit of a push coming down here on the side of Funeral Parlour. And the Tornado doing a great job cleaning up all those aerial attacks.
And we've got 2 Lava Hounds coming in. Is that going to be enough to take out that tower in overtime?
1,200 health left on that Princess Tower there. Going down below 1,840 left. Big attack coming through here, but they're all relatively low health. They're going to be cleaned up. And so after all is said and done, Funeral Parlour coming out with an advantage there, 700 health. But here comes the rebuttal here. It's the Rage and the Skeleton
and Rage.
Cleaned up with the zap there, or the lightning really well held by CJL. Or Jaden is Pro, I believe it is on that side. And here comes the next attack. Here comes the chance. The Ram Rider. The big snowball to slow everything down.
Now the Lava Hound is being prevented with the Ice Wizard. You know, this is probably the first time I've seen the Ice Wizard actually be able to hold off something as strong as the Lava Hound.
Here comes the miner, 200 health left. They're rotating for poison, I think. It's just going to put that miner down and the poison. That's it. That's first game for Burnside. They're going to wait for that to tick away. And in overtime, Funeral Parlour come away with the first victory in the 2v2. Man, that's a pretty good effort there. What we usually expect to see from Funeral Parlour.
Yeah, look, that was pretty tense, wasn't it? And lovely double Lava Hound action. You know, I think at this point in the tournament, we know what some of the teams like to play. And so when you get to choose the bans, why wouldn't you choose the one that they play? But remember last week, they chose their own Lava Hound as a ban. So maybe it was a bit of a bluff.
Yeah, but that also ended in them losing. And so if I was on the opposite team, I'd say that means that that's probably a pretty good ban. Surprised it hasn't come out tonight. But obviously they've found Royal Giant to be more of an issue. Rocket was the ban on Nossel's side. And so, which is interesting, because Rocket almost a really good counter for the Lava Hound, the double Lava Hound as well.
Yes. And it was interesting that we only saw maybe 2 poisons being played in that last game. Normally we would see everybody playing poison left, right and centre, but here we go. Here's our first poison for this round.
Unfortunately, you kind of missed out on those units. The Frost Wizard was just a little bit too slow. Ice Wizard, Frost Wizard. The icy boy, as we call him. Baby Dragon
here we
coming out
there. With our double Lava Hound action down the side, facing off with the Baby Dragon. And the Ice
Let's see what they can do to defend here.
So the Inferno Tower is a great defense. And Lightning.
It is.
And the Ice Wizard. And Inferno Dragon. So there's
really
a lot going on to defend that.
And they're pretty much going to clean that up without losing a whole lot here. And a P.E.K.K.A coming down. So after the entire attack, they actually come down with 1,900 health on the Princess Tower. Pretty good effort on the defense, and that's going to be countered fairly quickly. Nossel actually come out on top.
Coming through.
Skeleton
Barrel, P.E.K.K.A, Inferno
P.E.K.K.A's going to take it out. This is going to be big. The tower's going to go down.
It certainly is. Look at that. And there's still plenty left to go through to the King Tower. Is that Inferno Dragon?
Will the P.E.K.K.A get one shot off?
I think it might have. It was underneath the Inferno Dragon.
He swung his sword back, but I'd expected to have lost a lot more health from that. 4,000 left. But either way, a fantastic response from Nossel here. Managed to pick up the strategy, counter it phenomenally, and then use the counter-attack to take down an entire Princess Tower. That is just clinical strategic play from Nossel. Really good to see.
Now look, we've got everything all starting to be set up to take on that double lava hound attack. And a few things have managed to make it through to try and get a little bit of attack on that Princess Tower.
Oh, big poison's being dropped here. And the tornado. And again, brilliant play. Nossel manages to clear out the entire attack. They did lose a pretty significant chunk of health on that tower, but honestly, they're doing a really good job in response to the tower. It's only 9 seconds left. It's already 1 crown up to Nossel. I think it's going to be Nossel taking game 2 in the 2v2, which will leave us equal. Good games being thrown out, and that is the second match over. It is 1 point to Nossel and 1 point to Funeral Parlour. We will be going to a third match. I would expect to see nothing less from these two teams.
What an amazing series of games we're going to be seeing tonight. Look, those teams are both playing so well, and they've both figured out how to counter expertly and communicate with their teammate. And that's one of the most important things when you're playing in a 2v2, is being able to communicate somehow with your teammate of how you're going to play so that your strategy is most effective. You know, those teammates are working, that they're going up the same side, they're not splitting their attack unless that's part of their strategy, but you know that everyone seems to be working together perfectly. They're on fire tonight.
Absolutely, and the fact that, you know, just to emphasize the point, they can take one game, get beaten with the double lava hounds, and then coming in to play the exact same matchup straight away, and being able to adapt, play together beautifully, have all those cards positioned well. Really, really impressive play here from Nossel. And now the question remains: are Funeral Parlour just going to do it again? Are they just going to rush the same strategy? We see a Barbarian Hut here. It looks like they might have changed their deck.
Such a risky thing to do, but as we've seen in all of these games in the last few weeks, everyone seems to be very, very good with a series of decks, and they are comfortable with changing them up.
And I think that you almost have to at that stage, when you get countered that hard from your, you know, having your Lava Hounds taken out, you know that you're just going to have to do something differently. And so let's see if it's going to pay off for Funeral Parlour. Who's the most versatile, I guess, coming into this? And double skeleton barrels coming down. I haven't seen this one before. Going to get cleaned up fairly quickly.
But, look, skeleton barrel is probably an underrated card. It goes through and it just floats over everything and then drops a bunch of skeletons, which then end up distracting everything else.
Yeah, good amount of damage though, coming through on Nossel's for Funeral Parlour. And they're going to continue snowballing the Princess Tower just to rotate that card out. Still a few cards that we have yet to see though. The Wizards are going to get cleaned up fairly promptly, knocked down. And look, now that's becoming a pretty good trade. There's a little bit of chip damage down, 1,700 health on that Princess Tower. The Nossel's Princess Tower relatively, or completely untouched actually. And I believe it will remain so after that great value Infernal Tower. Now what wins, Skeleton Barrel or Barb Hut?
Yeah, that's actually really good. The Barbarian Hut managed to survive even the hit from the mini P.E.K.K.A.
Now this is going to be a pretty big attack coming down.
Yeah, you know, all those extra barbarians that come out of the hut, following the giant skeleton. That P.E.K.K.A. is quite busy there.
Nossel doing a really good job into their defense here, and able to being able to sort of mount or actually get chip damage onto the Princess Tower without really sacrificing a whole lot on the field. A big push coming through here now for Nossel as we've got 30 seconds left in regular time. And those skeletons are going to get all the way through and do a little bit more damage, but 2 baby dragons. And 2 ice wizards.
2 baby dragons and 2 ice wizards at the same time. This is so exciting.
Taken out. 800 health left on the side of Funeral Parlour. They are playing from behind a little bit here. The miner being dropped out. Not able to do enough damage there, unfortunately, coupled with the poison. That tower's going to live with about 400 health left, and we are now in overtime. Graveyard being dropped here for Funeral Parlour, but it might be too little too late. There's only a tiny amount of health left. I think a snowball and a poison is going to be enough to get rid of Burnside's tower there. So this might be a game of rotations very shortly for Nossel. Here comes a big attack. The miner coming through the snowball. We might be seeing the tower go down. And it is.
We do.
That is the 2v2.
Oh, they're
Nossel.
angry. Look at that. Yeah, look, the double skeleton barrel won the day on that game. You know, we haven't seen a double skeleton barrel play out so well like that. And to repeat it so many times throughout the game and to see that it worked so effectively in a variety of different circumstances. So if you're a 2v2 specialist team, perhaps it's something you might want to add. Doesn't cost very much. Seems to be pretty effective.
Yeah, I think the real masterstroke there, and I'm not sure if this would have been so successful, but they had a deck that was countering the double lava hounds. They won with that deck, and then they changed their strategy blind. If Funeral Parlour had stuck with the double lava hounds, I don't know if Nossel would have been able to deal with it again. And so that was kind of an underplayed, very risky move, but ended up paying out for Nossel on that one. So now they've gone from the quarterfinals directly into the 1v1s with 1 point up. While we're working to the 1v1s with Real Babadook versus Little Smash, what are our bans in this match?
Well, we've seen so much skeleton barrel in the 2v2s. They are actually banned in the 1v1, so no skeleton barrel and no lightning either.
A response there from Funeral Parlour, not really enjoying that skeleton barrel. The big hunter coming through. Little Smash on the side of Nossel, and a Real Babadook here for Funeral Parlour. Seeing if they can.
Let me tell you about. I'll tell you something about Little Smash. They collect sneakers, and they've got about 15 pairs of sneakers, including some Yeezys. How's that?
Oh, that's Sparky just yeeting that Ice Wizard. Here it goes, finally getting away with the big hit, but the Tornado pulling it and wiping it out. Some fairly even trades here. Both towers relatively the same, but an uncontested Sparky coming through here on the river. Just going to take on that knight, and that's going to be that. Even trades there. Nice little bit of trip damage there on the tower. 1 minute 40 left. Little Smash collecting sneakers, also trying to collect trophies tonight, I think. Doing a good job so far.
Is, yes.
And now we've seen pretty much all of the cards that each player has. 1 or 2 cards we haven't seen from Little Smash, 1 card we haven't seen yet from Real Bab. And the mini P.E.K.K.A, baby P.E.K.K.A running in.
These are quite different decks to what we usually see. In fact, there's not too many cards that are featured in my All-Stars deck. We've got 1 poison so far. We haven't seen that Little Smash has got poison yet. Perhaps that's the last remaining card, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned on Little Smash. He's only got kind of, I'd say, 1 really tank unit that he's shown so far. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got maybe a golem or a giant or something hiding away inside that last pick, which means he wouldn't have a poison. Either way, he's doing a pretty good job currently in defending. Sparky getting some really good value out, managing to avoid a lot of that damage, but unfortunately the Ice Wizard is going to slow him down just enough. Drop the Furnace. See if he can pop that Ice Wizard.
Do you think the last remaining unrevealed card may be a rocket? That was banned in the 2v2, but not in the 1v1, and quite often we see 1 hidden card right to the end, and it turns out to be a rocket to win at the last second.
You know, it could be, especially if he gets a little bit more damage off on these turrets or towers. It could just be that real finishing card that he's hidden away, trying to lull Real Babadook into a false sense of security. Just to get that.
That was good placement for the Barbarian Barrel and that building placement at the same time. That was quite well thought out.
Little Smash trying to get a little bit more damage down on this tower. Not able to do so. Really good placement there of his units from Real Bab. And the Sparky is coming up, going to try and shoot down this wizard before he gets slowed. There it goes.
Yeah, now if we can get that Sparky 1 hit through to the building, I think that may do it.
That was the Earthquake just there. That was the hidden card.
Ah,
so,
okay.
Unusual pick. I can see how it would be useful, but I don't think it's perfect in this situation. The tower damage is almost evened up now. Little Smash has been losing momentum slightly. Really good for Royale, but there's only 57 seconds left in the match. The Poison slowly chipping away that tower.
We're not getting too much tower damage overall. This may end up going to a tiebreaker, and it will just merely be the winner of the chip damage on the day. So
yeah, which is going to be Poison versus Earthquake. Maybe might be the outcome, with a slightly lower cost on the Earthquake. Well, we might see a benefit there. Ram Rider coming through to get some very important damage through, but falls just before it manages to hit. And now
we've evened it up with 22 seconds to go. You know,
these two towers are so close.
There is literally going to be tens of points in it.
Okay, 10 seconds left remaining in overtime. Here comes the snowball to take it down further. Currently, Robot Burdock is still in the lead, but the Earthquake comes out, bringing it down lower. 3 seconds. Poison's going to start ticking away. Can it beat 840? No, it can't. In the last second.
Oh, look at that.
893. It's going to end up being taken out by Little Smash. What an exciting finish. That was so close. We were probably, and I kid you not, like half a tick, about half a second away from Poison doing its next set of damage, which could have changed the outcome of that match. That was so incredibly close.
So close. Only 52 points in the whole game. Such perfectly matched players. You know, this is the best of the best. They're doing their absolute quality gaming tonight. So let's see what happens in the next round.
Yeah, I'd love to know exactly how much damage Poison does per tick, because it would be amazing if he, or I guess not amazing if you were on the side of Funeral Parlour, if he missed out by just that one tick there. But we are back into match 2. Remember, these are best of 3s. And so Royal Babdodak will be versing Little Smash again to try and get some vengeance for Funeral Parlour. If Little Smash is able to take out this game, this could be Nossel heading into the grand finals of the High School League Clash Royale match. A reminder, Skeleton Barrel and Lightning are banned in these 2 matches. And I think we're going to have a technical issue here. They're just doing a restart. They're going to finish up this match before they get back into it. Something went wrong there. I think someone jumped into the wrong match. That was the wrong player. Don't let the graphics deceive you. The match will just be being remade here. But yeah, a lot of pressure on Funeral Parlour. Nossel's now taken out the first point in the 2v2. They're now 1 game away from entering into the finals. Funeral Parlour, having been in the semi-finals before, yeah, they're going to be feeling the pressure.
Yeah, now you mentioned before about the timing with Poison and how, you know, we were just a split second away from seeing how that could have changed everything. This is a game we say every week. This game all comes down to placement of your troops and timing. You know, you can't waste any time. If you think that you need to put a Poison down, you put it down. You have to be so split second on this, because as we've seen, every split second counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that is a perfect example. You're right. A perfect emphasis on exactly how close sometimes the timing can be in these games. And we will see if Royal Babdodak can come out and take 1 point back for his team. It is Little Smash again, with Nossel's hopes and dreams riding on this game, trying to push this team into the final. Some pretty balanced trades starting off here.
We've got entirely different decks this game. Got Firecracker, one of my favourites. Love Firecracker.
And is it going to not quite get away from that bomb? Bomb Tower will take it out on that one. Decent amount of damage though. Miner coming through, get some nice damage off. Log to push it away.
And everyone's favourite, the Royal Giant, back in after being banned in the 2v2s. So let's see if that can live up to the hype and do a bit of damage on that tower.
And he's just going to try his best to walk all the way through, but I think that Ice Wizard's going to do a great job of slowing him down. Bomb
tower distracted a bit, so yeah, well played indeed.
Yeah, finishing off with a tornado to really clear out. That ends up being a pretty big advantage there for Royal Babdodak on the defense. 1 minute, 15 seconds left. And the board is fairly even. Elixir's fairly even as well. Goblin Hut being an advantage for Little Smash. Now, Goblin Hut being pretty popular at the moment on ladder for a lot of people. Seeing it floating around. And both Princess Towers, really even health. 2,000 on both the attack sides. Just broken that down. Little Smash coming in. 45 seconds left in this match before we go into overtime. And these guys are so even.
There. They really are. You know, there was even a Valkyrie versus Valkyrie just a few moments ago. But look, we've got 2 Royal Giants coming through. The
rocket comes out.
You know, but look, did they do that damage? They did. Look, it's down to 1,000.
Yeah, they just got 1 shot off, and that's all it takes. Even though that was probably the best defense you can ask for, but still, did a really, really decent amount of damage there. The Goblin's going to be taken down, trying their best to take down the Valkyrie. Miner coming out. Now, this is a battle of channels here. 8 seconds left in regular time. We have the Miner heading down the right-hand channel. Robot Burdock doing his best to try and attack that right-hand channel, where Little Smash is trying his best to kill that left Princess Tower. Great log
look,
there.
The Royal Giant is going to get a couple of hits in, taken out by the Tornado. But is there one last hit? 599, look at that.
Really good use of the Valkyrie and the Tornado there to pull that in. 600 health left. The advantage looking in the direction of Little Smash. This is getting close, throwing out the good game. Robot Burdock, he's either conceding early or he's just happy with the good game coming through. Fireball coming out. Now, there's nothing that they can use to instantly close this off. Miner not quite getting enough damage down. Remember, that real bad Burdock has that rocket sitting in his pocket, trying to send it out.
Absolutely. And I think Royal Giant might be being saved up for.
There it goes.
Another
rocket versus the Fireball. Not quite enough damage on either side. 197 health left on Funeral Parlour's 1v1 player's tower. And here comes the Goblins. Spare Goblins getting some damage off. That is going to be the good game from Funeral Parlour. And that is a clean sweep. That means Little Smash winning the 1v1 on behalf of Nossel. And that is Nossel High School moving on to the finals. Congratulations.
Wow, what a lucky turn of events for them.
Yeah, great. I mean, phenomenal play. And it just goes to show, you know, the fact that they were able to, they dropped the first match in the 2v2, they adapted, they overcame, they took Funeral Parlour through on the 2v2s and then took them out on the 1v1s. And so what a match. We will be seeing Nossel versus Warlocks in the final for tonight. But before we do, we will have a bronze final. All of this to come after this break. And so stick around. We have more exciting matches for you coming up right after this. Welcome back, Clash Royale fans. Good afternoon and good evening. You are viewing the Clash Royale High School League Split 1 Championship. It is finals night. My name is Jonathan Arkadian Jansen, and I am here with Belinda Hope, aka Blendy. We've had some interesting games so far, or the first game of the night.
Certainly have. It's pretty exciting being here. It's the grand final. And so we are seeing our best of the best.
Absolutely. We just saw the semi-final replay between Nossel and Funeral Parlour due to an unfortunate event, which you can learn more about at the High School League website if you're interested. But we are now heading into the bronze final. This is the final for prizes. We talk every week about the first, second, and third place prizes. We are now going to see, after Nossel taking out Funeral Parlour in the semi-finals, we're going to see Zero versus Funeral Parlour in the bronze final, securing them the bronze medal or the third place finish in the High School League Clash Royale Australia and New Zealand tournament. And so it's going to be a good one. Funeral Parlour coming off a loss here, but Zero coming in fresh. And so it will be interesting to see. So let's take a look at our head-to-head. We have Zero from Middleton Grange School versus Funeral Parlour from Burnside High School. We just saw Burnside High School play. Blendy, what do we know about Zero?
Let me tell you. So again, this is another New Zealand versus Australia matchup. We love to see this. Zero is a team of a couple of girls and one guy, Kronos, of course, who we saw dominate in previous weeks. And, you know, their favourite deck includes Royal Giant, and then last week that was one of the bans, and they've been practicing all week, and so that caused a little bit of an issue. So they've realised the power that some of the other teams have already figured out, that you become expert at multiple decks. So let's see how they go in this one. Let me tell you, the bans for the 2v2 is Tornado, well loved across the board, of course, and Royal Giant again has been banned. So I wonder how that's going to play out.
Yeah, see, this is interesting because Zero was one of the favorites, I think, heading into the tournament. Kronos is a phenomenal 1v1 player, and Dada and ID Khan have done a great job in their 2v2 matches. Unfortunately, they got banned out a little bit last week, but, you know, we are playing for prestige and basically, you know, amazing cash prizes and JBL audio equipment, and the, you know, unfortunately the TCL Plex mobiles aren't on the line for these two teams, but the JBL headphones and the Vodafone credit are on the line in this match. And the fact that Zero didn't ban Lava Hounds, I don't think we've seen a team ban Lava Hounds against Funeral Parlour yet. The only time it happened, Funeral Parlour banned it against themselves.
Yeah, you know, I feel like, yeah, that should be the #1 strategy. If you're going up against Funeral Parlour, you should be thinking about instantly banning Lava Hound. But maybe everybody just loves to see if they can beat it. Maybe that's the challenge. How good is your strategy for defense against a double Lava Hound action? So,
yeah, which Nossel just proved that they did in the last round. They left it open. They countered it very well. Funeral Parlour coming through with the Royal Giant ban. Zero talked about how they practice the Royal Giant a lot, and so that's a pretty good targeted ban there. But we will we'll just see how it comes down, I guess. Strategy. This is the strategy of the game coming through.
Yeah, well, you know, with all this Lava Hound talk, I've actually revised our All-Stars deck that I put together, and I took out Minor and I've added in Lava Hound. So just for those of you who were super interested in my All-Stars deck, this is something that I've put together based on what the most popular cards that we've seen throughout this tournament have been. And so I'll just quickly read through them while we wait. Poison, of course, the #1.
Poison.
And
every time.
And either of the golems, either the Elixir Golem or the regular Golem, your choice. And Freeze and Balloon, and if you can have those going together, the Freeze Balloon combo we saw was very successful. Rocket, of course, Lava Hound, and if you're doing 2v2, we'll play both of them. And of course, Royal Giant, everyone's favourite, and bats. You know, we have seen a lot of bats come through. Not today, I don't think we've seen any, but you know, it is one of those super cheap but super effective cards to throw in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, I'm not sure. Do you think that deck would work together? Do you think if you picked all those individual cards and built them into one deck, you think it would work?
Well, when I put that deck together, I did give it a go for a couple of days to see. It was pretty fun to play, but it didn't necessarily work together that well for me. But as an interesting perspective of the greatest cards that have worked for people in this tournament, though that's the list. Maybe you can incorporate some of them into your deck of your favourites. Potentially the whole lot of them together isn't necessarily a great strategy, but you know, could work on that.
Yeah, there could be a lesson in individual all-stars don't necessarily make the best team.
Absolutely.
And now we are starting off with our 2v2. This is Funeral Parlour back with Jaden as pro and CGL versus ID Khan and Dada on the side of Zero, with Australia versus New Zealand in the bronze final. One of these teams is going to be walking away with some sweet JBL headphones and some fantastic, a huge amount, $300 worth of Vodafone credit or Steam or Xbox PlayStation. So, you know.
That's pretty amazing. You would not be disappointed at all with that. You'd be very stoked.
Yeah, I can think of a few things I could do with that much PlayStation credit. And the Lumberjack running on through, starting with the first little bit of damage there. Unfortunately, the Mega Minion's just going to be on the very edge of that rage, not going to be able to pop off on the Baby Dragon, but the tower will clean it up without it being able to get any hits in. And so with the first little bit of chaos finished on the field, it looks like 2,000 damage on Funeral Parlour's side with Zero 2,300.
We've got a nice little battle there. We've got the Ram Rider.
Oh, fantastic attack.
Yeah, and that Rage just added a little bit of bonus there.
Yeah, managed to pop off 500 health off that tower pretty quickly. Just a little cheeky zap there to knock it down.
Yep.
And here it comes, as if we couldn't have predicted it.
What is going to be the defense for the double Lava Hound as it comes down? We've got Musketeer and we've got Electro Wizard. Good choices.
Yeah.
I expected to see a building. Yeah, you really need a building, I think, as defense here, so that the Lava Hounds are drawn to that building. We've got a lot of activity going on.
And they're coming through. Ram Rider going to try and do a counterattack here, but the onslaught has started on Zero's tower, going down below 1,000 health. A lot of units left, and the Snowball's going to try its best to clean it up there, and the Mega Minion will get distracted. 395 health left on that tower, and it's just a strong attack. You really need to be prepared if you want to be able to stop that. And Zero were looking dominant.
The Electro Wizard and the Musketeer that they've just played is what they had saved up as the defense for the Lava Hounds before, so they've already been played. If the Lava Hounds come down now, what have they got up their sleeve?
And the miner being dropped here, about to go into overtime. Funeral Parlour doing their best to try and finish the match. Before that happens, 88 health and the poison's being dropped. It's a good game to Funeral Parlour. Taking out the first point with the cheeky poison, which, again, it's not something we haven't seen before. It seems like the poison is ye old reliable.
Absolutely. You know, if you don't have that in your deck, what are you doing in this game? You've got to have poison as your base card, it seems, and build everything else on top of that.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like I didn't see, or I guess I didn't notice the real impact of poison a lot on my own personal like ladder or trophy climb until we start seeing it in matches like these, where it makes all the difference to get that. You know, it's a pretty significant amount of instant free damage down on the towers, and whether it's being used at the very last second of overtime to just get the tower low enough, or just to finish off that first crown, it's really making a big difference. And we're getting straight back into the next 2v2 with Funeral Parlour taking off the first point. This is a best of 3 now, remember, and so Zero will have a chance to come back into this match.
Now, you made a great point just before about, you know, poison being used to take out that first tower. These games where the players are so well matched and so good at their defense, we are not often seeing more than a single tower winning the game. So they're not generally taking out all the towers. It's whoever can get to the first one is the winner.
Yeah. And it's something we didn't really see in group play. We saw a lot of people contesting 3 crowns, going to try and take out the King Towers, but not when we get to business. Not when we're in the business end of the tournament, not a finals night. It's all about getting that single crown, taking down that one tower. Because you just see how well close these, or how evenly matched these two teams are. Lumberjack coming through here. Nice.
Because in a game like this,
Ram Rider.
You know, you've got equal value placed on attacks and defense. So that's part of the 2v2 benefit, really. You can have one person attacking, one person backing up as defense.
Yeah, absolutely. But it really comes down to, you know, whether or not their strategy, if they choose to mount an insurmountable attack with all of their double elixir, or whether or not they choose to split it up that way. Funeral Parlour obviously a fan of doing the double lava attack, and that definitely couldn't be defended by, you know, a single player. But looking at the time, we got 1 minute 15 left in this match. Both towers relatively even, about 150 health in it for both teams. Let's see if Zero can mount a defense against this absolutely huge onslaught. With just
we've got double lava hound plus poison. Look, they're down below 1,000.
This was I really like this attack. We're going to take out that first tower. They waited until all of the defensive units were focusing on the Lava Hounds, and then they dropped the miner. So the miner was free to attack the back of that Princess Tower uncontested, basically. The counterattack, not enough.
Stella. Now look, there's
really
838 left up over the top. Can we get something up there? We've got Lava Hound coming down the other side. But look, here comes the giant skeleton. That could do it. If that can get there, that bomb will take out that tower.
He's got 20 seconds to try and get down there. Icon and Dada both doing their
Look at
best,
that.
and they managed to do it.
It's evened
They take out
up.
the
It's
tower.
all one game again with 13 seconds to go.
Fantastic effort by the two ladies, Adi Khan and Dada on Zero side, shaking up the competition here. Jaden is pro and CJL now having to make their way down the left channel. We're in sudden death. The next Princess Tower to fall, or King Tower, will end this game. 1 minute 50 to see if either of these teams can take down those towers. Infernal Dragon coming in. Bomb Tower not quite going to be able to do a whole lot against those two flying units. It's going to sit there idly, scanning the ground.
Now we've got the double lava hound coming through, and we've got a double ram rider going ahead. So what if that makes it? It's blocked strategically with that goblin hut.
And they tried to clear it with the lightning, but it wasn't quite enough. And now there's two big lava hounds hitting down. That's a really, really good defense against them. But the lightning coming to clear all that out. This might be the push here for Funeral Parlour. Ooh, but a really good clearance on the snowball. Miner coming throughout the back, doing a little bit of damage, but it won't quite be enough. That is the baby dragon, all that's left. And again, after an insane battle, it appears, 1 minute left, both towers relatively even, 400 health in it. Advantage to Funeral Parlour. The Lumberjack not able to say anything different about that.
Now look, we are really even. Look at this.
So
44 seconds to go. Will the giant skeleton be able to get through? No, lightning zaps all of that out.
And the bomb to clear it all. Once again, the map has reset. Zero doing a fantastic job.
Oh, look at this. We've got the ram rider. We've got the lumberjack coming through and dropping his rage, but still not able to get to the tower.
Musketeer getting cleaned out there by the two Mega Minions. They're actually going to be pulled across into that left-hand channel. Really, really good here for Funeral Parlour. The giant skeleton's going to sit right in the middle there. He'll die. His bomb will blow up. Poison coming down with a couple of log. Bomb Tower trying to do their best. The tower's going down, and it ends up being the 0-second tiebreaker to Zero. Zero takes it out with 17 HP.
17! Wow, this is even closer than that match that we had before where it was 52. 17 points in it. I can't believe it. Wow.
Coming down to the last second snowball. Yeah, it was just both teams trying everything they can to get some guaranteed damage down. Unfortunately, poison wasn't enough, and Zero walking away with the equalizer, saying, no, this 2v2 is not done. It'll be going to game 3 in the 2v2s. I mean, they did a good job. They adapted to the lava hounds. I think it might have been easier if they had just banned them, but I'll forgive them for that. I mean, what are we going to see in this next match? It's everything's on the line for these two teams.
Absolutely is. Are they going to change up their decks? I feel like they need some other kind of building to distract those lava hounds. But let's see how we go. But you know, we're going to the third game, and of course that's why we're here. We want to see the finest Clash Royale challenges of the year, and here we are.
We've seen 2 tiebreakers, overtimes being ended in the last 2 matches. That's just how close these two teams are. Honestly, I think if we see Funeral Parlour here pull out the double lava hound again, I think we might see Zero take away this match. I think they're kind of getting into the rhythm of being able to take that down. But we'll see what the choices were. They changed it up last time. Let's see if they do it again.
I don't think Zero have changed their deck. That's probably a great choice for them.
Yep, they know what's going on.
Look at that. You've got
all the
all
rage
the
with
spells
the Ram
coming
Rider.
up. And look at the placement. It's so perfect. You know, it's just on the areas that they need it to be.
Yeah, huge attack there from the Ram Rider coming through. 1,400 health left on that Princess Tower. That's the big snowball that won last match. Throwing it out again. Just remember me.
Yeah, did nothing else. Just a little bit of a splash on that building. Like, ha, here we go.
That could be the 17 damage. That is the difference.
Absolutely. You know, in this game, chip damage is just as good as a major hit. In
And
some circumstances.
Trying to slow down this massive onslaught from the 2 lava hounds. Lightning being dropped down. The lava hounds are going to start getting close because they're going to start getting some attacks off. doing a
So
decent
look,
amount of
the
damage
giant
here.
skeleton makes it to the tower. That bomb is going to do its damage. That's going to go down to about 400. Look at that.
But is it going to be, ooh, it's actually a fairly even trade. Slightly came out top. Both teams suffered quite a lot of HP loss here. Poison being dropped, that should take out that tower. Earthquake being dropped, going to get the Funeral Parlour's Princess Tower real low as well. The first one
Ram
going
Rider
down,
took
and
out the
a lot of
tower.
damage. Look at the damage on the King Towers. I don't think we've seen that much being taken down in a while.
No, these guys have said, look, we are here for real, and we're going to take down your King Tower. And they had the Ram Rider and the Lumberjack all charged up and ready to go.
All right, Funeral Parlour having to try a mountain attack here. 47 health left on that left-hand tower. If they're going to try and get this so low, are they going to save enough spells to get that 47 damage? They've got 10 seconds to do it.
Look, there was 17 points in the last game, but they must get that 47. Okay, they've done it. That's lucky.
Kept the snowball. They were ready. It's easy to forget. I personally have forgotten about those. I'll get the tower later, and then before I know it, time's up and I lost.
Well, you can't muck around in a grand final.
Okay, here comes the counter-attack by Zero, trying to get onto those Princess Towers. We are in overtime, 140 seconds left. Lots of damage being dropped on that tower. Lightning being dropped down, under 1,000 health there on Funeral Parlour's tower. Desperately trying to stay in it, but a pretty decent attack here coming through. Once the tech is being taken care of, the Mega Minion will be cleaned up.
Certainly is.
And now, Funeral Parlour.
We've got the double lava hound. We've got all sorts of action going on. But Zero, okay, no, we're serious. We want to win this.
Snowball slowing down the Inferno, reaching the Inferno Dragon, and it's going to be taken. Ooh, the bomb tower just taken out. But again, all relatively even here. We might get to a second tiebreaker. The giant skeleton and baby dragon coming through.
No, Zero just needs to maintain their defense, because in a tiebreaker, they will take this out. And that giant skeleton, that bomb should do a little damage.
And the bomb tower in a good position. No more damage here. I think we've taken on top of Zero for quite a while. Oh, I'm literally throwing out a lightning spell, in which case, and the poison combined with that as well. A lot of damage.
They're going to take out this building as well. Look at that. The bomb is dropping.
The bomb close enough. The bomb is close enough. 54.
Yes, there we go.
To finish the match, Zero. Absolutely fantastic job. Clinical from Dada and Adi Khan to take out Funeral Parlour in the first point for the 2v2s, which makes Kronos' job all that much less stressful heading into the 1v1. It's really nice to have a free point in your belt coming into the 1v1 best of 3.
Wow, that was such amazing play. You know, that they were so aggressive, Zero, with their attack and their defense, and they just knew exactly what to do for their oncoming double lava hound action. You know, it makes me think perhaps they didn't choose to ban the double lava hound. Like we suggested before, maybe it was a bit of a strategy of, well, can we take it down? That's our personal challenge. And they did it. Well done.
Yeah, I guess better the evil you know than the evil you don't. And so being able to prepare for the strategy they knew would be played possibly was exactly what they wanted to do. And so props to them. I concede the point, Zero. You have proven me wrong. But now we will be heading into the 1v1s. What bands do we have lined up for the 1v1s?
All right. The 1v1 bands are Musketeers and Mega Knight.
Mega Knight, a personal favorite of mine from my early days in the Clash Royale. Interesting bands, though. We don't see a lot of Mega Knight or Musketeers, really.
No, that's right. So I guess there must be a reason for that. You know, they've had all week to think about what they want to ban.
And we'll come back. We also read from Kronos that he's been practicing a lot this week because it was lost last week, and so he's definitely got something to prove here. Coming into the tournament as probably one of the favorites, or one of the most talented individual players. I think the loss last week versus Warlocks really played on him, and so we'll see if he can seek redemption here tonight and take away that bronze final win, which he's absolutely poised to do thanks to the amazing setup that Arkadian and Dada have done for them, securing the 2v2 point. Big attacks coming through here.
Certainly are. We've got attacks going on 3 of the towers.
Real Bad Dodak getting off the first hit, doing really well. Some decent damage to both of the towers. Royal Ghost, uncontested on that left-hand tower, is going to do a lot of damage, slowly chipping away.
Look, that's nearly half attack just from that uncontested Royal Ghost.
Yeah, it's a dangerous unit. Always a sneaky, spooky one. And the Bandit coming in, getting cancelled out by the nice skeleton drop there.
Yeah, but look at that baby dragon dropping a whole lot of fireballs on that one.
And the Battle Ram gets the connection on the tower. That's going to bring it below 1,000. And the Barbarian just knocking away there. Really good damage. Look, after the first attack by Real Bad Dodak on the towers, that early blitz, Kronos has done a great job pulling this match back.
Absolutely. The defense has been outstanding.
And interestingly, we're seeing quite a lot of consistent attack on both channels.
Yes, you know, it's not just going up one side. It's all right. Well, everything is free for all at the moment. So let's see. We'll send out attacks everywhere and see what hits.
Yeah, which we don't usually see. It's interesting. Usually, it's all focused inside one channel, but poison being dropped here to help clean up those extra units for for Kronos on Zero's side, and it's going to end up taking the final tick on a lot, but not quite enough there. Has to clean it up. And another
poison again. But that's not going to take it down too much. But the Ram Rider's coming through, connecting. Ram Rider's taking it below 1,000. Look, we're starting to even it up a little bit.
Here it comes.
We're going to go into overtime.
Sneaking through, 900 health on Kronos' tower, and then he brings the second Princess Tower below 500. The Barbarian's doing a lot of damage there. Both towers now very, very low. Going to need to mount the defense on the left-hand channel. Oh no, and his Bandit got sort of held back, but they're going to be able to clean that up fairly easily. Kronos calling a good game. He can't defend both sides. The Battle Ram is going to go into the tower. And the
Battle Ram takes it out. I don't think we've seen a Battle Ram take out the win before, but that's what just happened. So that was very, very sneaky and excellent play to come up that other side that was largely untouched, and just in the last 30 seconds or so really take out that whole tower.
Yeah, and we saw him do it multiple times, is focus an attack on one channel and send the Battle Ram down the other, just to make sure that if it does happen to get through, it did a lot of damage, and it put him in a position to really take out that first point fairly safely. But we'll see if Funeral Parlour, if Real Bad Dodak can come back and take out this next point. This could be potentially the match-deciding point right now. If Kronos is able to take out Real Bad Dodak one more time, that will secure Zero, Kronos, Arkadian, and Dada as the third-place champions, or finishers in the High School League Clash Royale tournament. And so we will see
a lot on the line.
Absolutely, this is it. Imagine if you could load into one Clash Royale game, and if you won, you walk away with, what is it, probably about $700 worth of prizes.
It's amazing, yeah, absolutely. So look, these teams have been working so hard, and I just really want to make sure that all of their schools and their teachers and their principals and their parents are all aware of what they're doing. Everybody here is representing the country in an international esports tournament with real prizes on the line. So it's actually an incredible opportunity and experience.
Yeah, so great for a high school student to be able to be a part of something like this. Kronos flipping the coin emote earlier. I wonder if that's a metaphor for some sort of wealth that they're about to come into. A nice little windfall. The Bandit slamming through, taking out the Ice Wizard there. So far in this match, 1 minute 25 seconds left, and Kronos is being pretty dominant. Both towers down, fairly low. A really, really strong, consistent player, being able to create threats all over the map here in Kronos. And here we're going to see him drop the poison. as he meets the Electro Dragon at the river.
The Poison almost dropping it below 1,000, but the Baby Dragon might do a little bit of damage. No, the Ice Wizard manages to take it out. Here comes that battle ram.
Yeah, threat on all aspects of the map. Heka getting away that final hit, taking out the battle ram. And it manages to get through. Look, you can see on the right-hand channel again. Battle ram gets through, does 400, 500 damage to the tower, while he's still got an attack coming through on the left-hand panel. Just so well played. 30 seconds left in this match.
And look at that. The poison placement was exactly covering everything that was up, challenging around that tower there. That was very, very well played. So which tower is going to go down first?
He's doing his best trying to defend the go. Yeah, 10 seconds. I mean, it's going to go into overtime. It's not over until one of the towers at least is dead. And
Baby
here comes the Baby
Dragon. 2 hits. Baby Dragon, one more hit, and that is game.
That is over for Kronos, pulling it back for Zero, meaning that Zero will be our third place finalists and the third place winners for the High School League Clash Royale tournaments. Congratulations to Middleton, Grange School and Zero and all the players as part of the team. The phenomenal job. Congratulations, and I hope that you enjoy your Vodafone, or thanks to Vodafone New Zealand, your PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, or Vodafone credit, as well as your JBL Quantum headphones. Fantastic job, great display. Unfortunately, Funeral Parlour won't be able to walk away with any prizes other than the fact they know they came 4th place out of all of the teams who entered.
Absolutely. Look, these teams are so good. They are just such the best of the best, and we have just seen the 3rd and 4th best teams in Australia and New Zealand battle it out. That is incredible. There was 65 teams in this tournament, and we're down to the top 4. So well done. 3rd and 4th place have been settled.
Absolutely. But that is not the headliner for tonight. That is not the main event. We will be coming back just after this break with the finals. And so be sure to stick around as we crown the Australia and New Zealand champion. We'll be right back after this break. Good afternoon and good evening, Clash Royale fans, and welcome back to the High School League Clash Royale Championship night. We are in the finals. This is the final match. We are as far through this tournament as we could possibly be at this stage. Welcome back. My name is Jonathan Arkadian Jansen, and we are joined with Belinda Hope, aka Blendy. Blendy, we have the exciting match ahead of us.
This is it. This is what we have all been working towards for the last however many weeks this tournament has been. We've had 65 teams from 35 schools across Australia and New Zealand, and now we are down to the very best 2 teams. And they're going to play off against each other.
Yeah, we're going to see it, finally. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket for tonight. So let's have a quick look at the journey that these 2 teams took to get here. So we had 8 teams entering the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, and Warlocks managed to take out Wrath of Frost, which was their school team. That were their friends that they go to school with every time to make it into the semi-finals. They then managed to clutch their victory against Zero, specifically Kronos in the King of the Hill tiebreaker, the 3rd set, to secure their place in the finals. Nossel came through against Barnes Babes, who was unfortunately disqualified due to cheating against the anti-cheat policy, and so Nossel qualified into the semi-finals to versus Funeral Parlour tonight, which we saw them take out Funeral Parlour in a 2-0 sweep to earn their place in the final. And so tonight, let's take a look at the final match to crown our grand champions. We have Warlocks from Mount Albert Grammar School, New Zealand, versus Nossel from Nossel High School, Australia. This is going to be a banger.
Certainly is. Absolutely. This is the two best teams that we have seen in this entire tournament. And let me tell you what the bans are going to be for the 2v2. Would you believe the bands are Royal Giant and Rocket. Two of the most favourite cards are banned for the 2v2.
I think Royal Giant is I'm a huge fan of the Royal Giant ban from Warlocks, because Nossel have seemed to use that quite well. But we will get directly into it. Let's not wait around. We have waited 8 weeks to see these two teams face off. We have Clyde and Elec on the side of Nossel versus Mr. Killer and Wimmy for the 2v2 starting off tonight. Skeleton Barrel kicking off the match with a minor combo. Let's see these two teams try and take it out, going blow for blow.
Now, we've seen a lot of Skeleton Barrel tonight, and look, here comes another one.
Well, Nossel were the ones earlier played the double Skeleton Barrel. It worked for them then. They're saying, why not now?
Absolutely.
The Executioner are going to be a fantastic counter to the Skeleton Barrels as they come through. I think Executioner is a really strong card. I'm not surprised.
It really is. Yeah, Executioner is very difficult to defend against, and it's so powerful because it goes through everything on the way and on the return.
Yeah, super effective there. Poison being dropped by Nossel to take that tower down. Look, there's a little bit of chip damage has managed to bring it down to 1900 health on the Princess Tower on the side of Warlocks. Nossel with a slight advantage here. They're coming into this game warm. They've already had a few matches under their belts. You know, Warlocks, this is their first game of the night. They might be a little bit slow on their reaction. Huge combo there from Nossel in defense. And another Skeleton Barrel coming through.
Now, this is maybe the first game that we've seen in a little while where we've got spectators sharing all of their emojis as well. I'm not sure if that's distracting or if that's helpful, but it's nice to have your teammates on the sideline.
Yeah, it creates the crowd environment. 1500 health left on the Warlock's Princess Tower, and Nossel's Princess Tower is both untouched, with coming up on 1 minute left in the match. We will be hitting the 2 times elixir phase. Nossel must be shaking at just how well they're doing so far on this match. A big golem being dropped.
Absolutely. The Big Golem, of course, is one of the all-star cards for this entire tournament. And Poison. Look at that Poison coming down.
Yeah, Keka doing a fantastic job cleaning that up. Nossel so far definitely on the front foot, mounting a big attack coming through here. Minor sneaking in behind as the Infernal Dragon comes through, takes out that hut. Skeleton Barrel drops. Big attack here, but that giant skeleton, I think, is pretty much going to clean everything up with its bomb once it comes through. See you later. Just takes out the baby dragon.
Absolutely. Look at that nice log placement for the all ready for the Skeleton Barrel drop.
Yeah,
now we're
really
down to
well
below 1,000, but we've got 2 completely untouched towers.
Yeah, they're ignoring that right-hand channel for sure. Poison gets dropped, bringing Warlock's tower down to 800, below 800 health. We are now in sudden death. The next tower to drop, that will be it. They'll be taking out the first point in the Grand Championship match here at the High School League Clash Royale Split 1. Both teams giving it their all. Huge attacks coming through and even bigger defenses.
The giant skeleton and the golem coming through was very successfully blocked with tornado and a bunch of
being dropped. 400 health left on that tower.
Is it going to go below 300? And with Rocket being back,
here comes the poison. The poison's going to keep ticking. Look at the Warlock Tower, 990 55, 38, just ran out. It's going to be a cycle.
Oh, wow. And look, here comes the log.
Nossel taking out the first 2v2 of the night in the grand finals versus the undefeated Warlocks. Man, can you imagine walking into this tournament? Nossel thought they were knocked out in the quarterfinals. They thought they were done. And now tonight they're sitting here in the finals with the first point up against the undefeated Warlocks.
That is a pretty amazing story to be able to take back to school when you eventually get to go back to school. But even, you know, tomorrow, send a message to your school and go, hey, look, this is what we've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be definitely a Cinderella story if they manage to pull this off, but let's not wait around. Let's find out. It is a rematch again. Nossel and Clyde and Elek versus you, Gwemmy Boyman, and Mr. Killer on the side of Warlocks. Let's see if they've changed up the strategy. Nossel doing the same thing. They know that works. Skeleton Barrel being dropped. Let's see if Warlocks can react differently here.
Nice detraction with the building there, so the Skeleton Barrel heads over that way.
Yeah, Furnace as well, being a really nice counter, I think, to the Skeleton Barrels. And
I love Inferno Tower. You know, Inferno Tower is such a strong building. Oh, look, here we go, a Lava Hound.
Yeah, looks like both teams have changed up slightly. Warlocks at least added the Lava Hound. Nossel at least added the Infernal Tower, which will probably end up being a net win for Nossel on that one.
Yeah, look at all these dragons. We've got Lava Hound versus Inferno Dragon versus Baby Dragon versus another Baby Dragon.
Yeah, great trades coming through here. The Pekka's just going to wander on by. Don't mind me. Trying to get through to that tower.
Yeah,
and
look at this attack.
Skeleton,
Pekka, Baby Dragon. Nice play with that building there.
Yeah,
but of course, the poison and a rage. All the spells coming out.
Is the Pekka going to get one hit off? Not quite, but the Miner will be doing a whole lot of damage.
So down to 1,500.
Yeah, 1 minute 15 left to go at our checkpoint, and currently Warlocks are 500 health behind. Nossel doing a phenomenal job, playing out of their minds, I think, tonight. Just doing so good. Another poison being dropped here. Now, Nossel have 2 poisons. Both of them have poison. With the Miner and the Snowball, that means if that tower gets to about 600 health, that they're within lethal. That means that they can take them out with just those 2 spells. So this game...
for 2 cycles of that could be enough.
Yeah.
And look at this attack. Balloon. We haven't seen Balloon come out yet, I don't think.
No, but it's absolutely doing a great job. Really big attack coming through here. The Ice Spell being dropped. But
yeah, that was the Balloon Freeze combo that we've seen work so well earlier in the champ, which I believe is a Warlock specialty.
Yeah, and they're dropping down the poison again. They're going to get that tower just below 1,000 health. Unable to really take much more, just above 1,000 on 1,020. Here comes the log to finish that one off. 10 seconds left. Neither team has dropped a tower yet. Nossel doing a really good job commanding the pace of this match, controlling the tempo really well. There's the next poison can be dropped. It might be a little bit late for Warlocks to start competing poison for poison. Here comes the big balloon attack. An Ice
Balloon and Lava Hound. Now, if either of those are able to get close enough, which they are, I believe the balloon is in range. Look at that. Wow,
it's over. Nossel end up falling down. Are they? No, it's so close. I really thought they were going to be able to take it down, but Nossel
it's 126. 72. Look at that. Wow.
Nossel.
Well played, certainly.
Nossel being in command the entire game, and then Warlocks just being able to keep composure. Huge props to them for holding those cards, waiting for the strategy, waiting for the opportunity, and executing that strategy really, really well.
Mm. Yeah, that was a very, very good play and a great deck on both teams. And we saw the popular balloon freeze combo that won a whole King of the Hill a few
Yeah, I think was it Mr. Killer or Mr. Don't Jim? I can't remember. One of those two ended up taking out a whole team with that combo, but that equalizes it for 1-1. Nossel came out with the first point. Warlock said, "No, sorry, we'll take that one back." They've equalized the score, and now it is down to this match. This match will determine who takes away the first set of the Grand Championship in the High School League Clash Royale. Neither towers have taken damage just yet. It is Gwemmy and Mr. Killer on Warlock, Mount Albert Grammar School, New Zealand versus Nossel, Clyde and Elek for Nossel High School, Australia.
And we've got poisons laying all over the ground everywhere, and a skeleton barrel is about to drop and zapped before it could do anything. Look at that.
Yeah, Mr. Killer was like, "No, I'm done with these skeletons." He's going to hold that zap, I think, for them every time.
Yeah, look, you know, as we keep saying, it's all about timing, and you see the skeleton barrel come and you have your zap ready, so as soon as the skeletons drop, you zap it immediately. Well played.
So it looks like both teams have held a pretty similar... Or have they changed strategy here? I don't see any balloons or anything. We've got a similar defense here on Warlock's side. Unless all those missing cards is the Lava Hound, Ice Spell, Balloon, we might see a different strategy here on the Warlock side. But it definitely looks like Nossel's sticking with what was working. Going with the double skeleton barrel. Probably something they've been practicing all week.
Absolutely. You know, this is the game, so you know, it's very risky to change things up. So let's assume that the cards that we can't see are the same ones from the previous round. Will we see some Lava Hounds pop out soon and a balloon? Yes, there we go. A Lava Hound and a baby dragon.
Yeah, it looks like it will be the cards. So both teams opting to go with the same strategy on this one. And with 1 minute just passing, going into 2 times elixir mode, it looks like we have a slight advantage onto the side of Nossel, but that could change very quickly as we saw last match.
Yeah, look, you know, all of these teams are so evenly matched. It's very hard to even predict who's going to win. And as we've seen in the previous games, it can come down to the wire and have only 17 points in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Nossel bleeding a little bit of elixir there, wasting 3 elixir total. Not ideal, not too bad. 20 seconds left in the match. Here comes the elixir, here comes the Lava Hound.
Here's the balloon Lava Hound, the double baby dragon. The tornado doesn't do too much.
The tornado really takes out that whole combo, double Infernal Tower. That is scary. not something you want to face.
That's right, but look, it's still evened up. Look at this. There's, what, less than 100 points in it. Oh, now maybe a little more.
Yeah, going into overtime, both towers relatively similar here. Both teams trying to compete for the bridge, and elixir levels fairly similar. Both poisons just ticking away. They know they've got 1:30. Let's see if Warlocks can pull out the second combo. The Lava Dragon come out, trying to get rid of that Infernal Tower, but the tornado is just too good at resetting that attack.
Yeah, double really tornado. Look down to 14. Look, it's evened up again, but all the lava pups, are they going to be able to do much damage? Look, we've got a double skeleton barrel coming through, and double ice.
That's going to be a slight advantage here, down to just below 1,200, just above 1,200 health for the poison. And the P.E.K.K.A knocking down those smaller units here. 50 seconds left. Playing the balloon early. Interesting move here. I think he just needed to get rid of... I don't know why we want to get rid of the card, but played it a little bit early, using the bomb, I guess, to get rid of the Inferno Tower. If he's able to cycle this through, if he can avoid that Lava Hound getting hit by the Infernal Tower, 40 seconds left, 100 health in it, that might just be enough to get it.
We've got a strong aerial attack coming through. Some of it's going to get taken out by the Inferno Tower, but will some make it through? We're down to 1,000. The miner
going to town.
There, look at that.
Now, Nossel used the poison on the bridge instead of on the tower, and that might just make the difference in health. I'm not sure if that was a really good move. I don't think he could really afford that. The miner's still going down. Poison being dropped, 10 seconds left to go. It's going to be down to the wire. Poison's going to quite soon, but another one gets dropped. 328. Both towers are rapidly dropping. It's going to be down at 240 versus 269, 242, and the game's over with 2 difference.
That surely. That is.
Nossel. Sorry, Warlock. Taking it out with health. That was incredibly insane. Great job there by both teams. I think that, man, that was so tight. 2 poisons on one tower versus the snowball and the other poison left, coming down to the very wire. I think, like I said, there was a poison dropped on the bridge that just seemed to not necessarily be necessary. And so that might have been the difference, but just phenomenal play from both teams.
Absolutely, that was so exciting in the last few seconds. And did you see that even at the very end, they said, look, I don't even care, this poison is just going down anywhere, and it woke up the King Tower, of course. So maybe that was something else, that the King Tower was able to just do a little bit more damage, and I don't know, but wow.
Moments for sure. Fantastic match. I'm so excited that that's the first set of our grand final, and if that's anything to go by, the next 1v1 is going to be absolutely or as exciting as that one. Going into the 1v1, what bands are we going to be looking at?
All right, well, our 1v1 bans. We've loved our Skeleton Barrel in the 2v2s, but Skeleton Barrel is banned this time. And so is one of your favorites, Sparky.
No, not the Sparky. Didn't do anything wrong. A little smash here on Nozzle versus Aqua on Warlocks. Warlocks taking away the first set in probably the most clutch game that we have seen to date. So little in these two teams, both absolutely earning their spot here in the final. Little smash, a little bit of pressure here to try and take back the set to push into the tiebreaker. Aqua playing for the win for these two teams, for Warlocks. And so far, trade fairly even. A little bit of damage coming through onto Aqua's Princess Tower. Almost equalized there by the Mega Minion. You don't often see a Mega Minion get all the way to the tower, but when it does, that's surprisingly hard.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Mega Minion last week as it's not a card that we generally see very often, but look, here we are in the grand final game, and everybody's got Mega Minions, so maybe I need to rethink how I feel about it. I haven't really rated it at all, but here we are.
Here we are, and the baby dragon going to be taking out little mini P.E.K.K.A, and the goblins doing their best to try and play a dragon, which they're able to do. Poison being dropped here on that tower. The all-important
poison was just slightly to the center. It would have got that goblin hut as well.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. He chose to go for the units instead of the hut, and I think that, I don't know if that was the right decision. We'll find out. But we know Little Smash is great performing in these kind of high-pressure environments, and so let's see if he can pull it back. And here we go. Here's the Royal Giant.
Royal Giant up against Baby Dragon and a couple of Barbarians coming through. Barbarians will meet the Royal Giant.
But he doesn't really care about those guys. He's just going to wander on through, doing his best to try and get to that tower.
There's a bunch more Barbarians that say, no thanks.
Yeah, and the Firecrackers, you're going to get some great value here. Boom! There you go, knocking out all those, the poison, getting some decent damage. But managing to take out the Firecracker as well. 20 seconds left in this first match. The tower's relatively even, small advantage. The Little Smash on Nozzle doing his best to keep his team in this match.
Look, we've got the same placement of buildings on both sides. Everybody knows what's what. These are the two best teams that we've got, and they are going into overtime. Whoever takes out the next building will be the winner.
Graveyard getting a lot of damage down. Really, really doing a good job. Those skeletons definitely ramp up pretty quickly. 1,000 damage, or 1,000 health left, sorry, on the Princess Tower for Little Smash, turning the tides of battle in the favor of Aqua. Warlocks really wanting to secure that first win, because then all the pressure is on the rest of this tournament. Little Smash sending through his mini P.E.K.K.A and his Mega Minion.
Mega Minion's having a bit of a fight over the bridge there.
Here it comes again, this Graveyard. Look, it's the Valkyries.
Graveyard and Poison. Are we going to see the Earthquake as well? Not this time.
Well, you know, with those three spells, Warlock's Aqua isn't holding out Earthquake, and so he's not going to be able to use it on that one. Here comes the Earthquake for Little Smash. But you know, if he can rotate through, if he can hold 9 Elixir, he might just be able to drop that again. A massive attack coming through here, though, from Little Smash. 50 seconds left. Can he defend?
Down to 340.
Oh no, 2 Royal Giants. That's scary in anyone's book. 700 health, 400 health. Being dropped down. It's going to be too late.
And double Royal Giant.
coming through with the victory. They're taking out the first 1v1, keeping hope alive for Nossel. You know, that was really tight. Although the health looked like it was fairly similar for a while there was one graveyard, one poison away from Aqua taking that out for Warlocks. And so if Nossel was going to do anything, they had to do it right then and there, and they managed to pull it out. And so great job on the side of Nossel, taking out the first 1v1 point. And so we're just going to, I guess, head into the next match when the players are ready. Everything on the line.
This is super exciting. And to see two Royal Giants take it out, that was pretty special, I think. You know, Royal Giants are a good favourite of everyone's.
Musketeer just running down those goblins. And actually taking out the Valkyrie as well. Going to get a lot of damage now.
The mini P.E.K.K.A taking out the building. That mini P.E.K.K.A was well protected to make it all that way.
And the Mega Knight being dropped here. First Mega Knight we've seen, which means that Aqua's changed up his strategy.
Yeah, look, we're seeing sort of a classic deck here. Even just regular minions, not even a minion horde.
Yeah, Aqua going back to his roots, I think. Just trying out a little bit something different. Mega Knight with the big slam on the Princess Tower, backed up by the Musketeer, is going to get a huge amount of damage down. Maybe even takes it below 1,000. It does. 963 health straight away out of the gates. Aqua with the advantage.
They're very polite players, aren't they? Offering their well played and their thank you. Very nice.
And the wall breaker's going to try and make it through.
Oh, it nearly did.
So
but the
close.
miner there did actually a lot of damage, and the Valkyrie took out the wall breakers, but look, that's down to 683.
Those wall breakers were an absolute breath away from activating on that tower.
They certainly were, but it did.
Little P.E.K.K.A horde coming through here. Max Elixir coming out. Minions versus the Mega Minion and the Spear Goblin. Musketeer doing a really good job here, controlling a lot of these units, cleaning out the goblins, and then cleaning out the Goblin Hut.
And here comes our Royal Giant.
Ooh, Mini P.E.K.K.A takes out the Musketeer. Really well played there by Little Smash. And here it comes, the counter attack.
It's going to do a couple of hits, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it actually gets picked up. Look at all of that action going on there. The Mini P.E.K.K.A and everything else managed to counter that Royal Giant.
You know, I really like this deck from Aqua. I think this goes to show that these are all pretty basic cards, other than the two legendaries, Mega Knight and Miner. And I think it goes to show that, you know, you can do really well, perform really well with just the very fair attention to this game.
Absolutely.
And
these
Miner getting a lot of damage down, sneaking the tower down to 500 health. That is not good for Little Smash, but you know what? There's one card that Aqua hasn't played yet.
Really? And do we think it's the Rocket to be able to take out that last one?
I would not be surprised if it was a Rocket. And here comes the Miner.
Here comes the Miner. Now look, Little Smash has played the Royal Giant right at the back there. I feel like in this last minute of overtime, we should be maybe placing it a little bit closer, perhaps. But we do have some good attack coming through. Will that Royal Giant land its hits? Going to get a few in, look at that.
He's sent the Miner at the back, and there it is, getting the tower down to 400 health. Oh,
look, but it's 400 on the bottom, so 200. That Royal Giant did so much damage with everything else that was backing it up.
Look, if Little Smash, all he needs to do is drop down that Earthquake, I think, on this tower, and it's all over for Aqua, which is going to push them to a King of the Hill.
Here we go. If that ran along following through, that is the game.
That is Little Smash taking out the 1 versus 1, which means they're taking out the 1 versus 1. Warlocks took out the 2 versus 2. If you were to tell me, look, this is the High School League Clash Royale Grand Final, are we going to see a King of the Hill?
Yeah, we definitely are.
Absolutely. And so we will take we'll let the teams repair and recover a little bit going into the King of the Hill. And while we do that, while the teams are set up, what are the two bans for the King of the Hill?
Okay, well, you won't believe it, but we have Rocket as a ban, the classic last-minute giant winner for the thing, and Tornado as well. Now, we've seen Tornado being played in almost every game tonight, so that is a very clever ban for the King of the Hill. So that will be very interesting. But, of course, nobody tonight has banned Poison because everybody loves to play Poison and they don't want to ban it from their own deck either.
Yeah, Poison's kind of an interesting one. I mean, I'd love to see it banned. I want to see what these matches would look like without the constant back and forth Poison. But I think that on the same token, it's, you know, players are using it differently. And so let's get straight into the King of the Hill. This is the last man standing format because these teams have made it not only to the grand final, but they're so equally matched. We have to go to a tiebreaker. And so we've got Gwim representing Warlocks in New Zealand versus Clyde representing Nossel from Australia in the grand final for the High School League Clash Royale. Everything is on the line tonight. And Balloon's coming through.
Oh, look, this Balloon is coming right through. That's going to get maximum hits.
2 attacks
look at
as
all
well.
The damage. And the bomb. That's almost going to take out that whole building.
Uh-oh, not a good start here from Clyde. He's not going to enjoy
We're not
that.
even at 2 minutes left and almost a building taken out.
And a Heal Spirit being used.
I'm enjoying using Heal Spirit at the moment.
Yes, I think it's the first time we've actually seen it in our tournament play. It's a new card that was reworked recently.
Yeah, it only costs 1, but it's a really good backup to any troops that you're sending out because it obviously heals them up a little bit. It's quite
a big attack coming through here, and the Mega Knight's going to stomp down on the tower with the Miner. Clyde and Ugwim trading blow for blow. Clyde's blow is going to be a lot bigger. He takes out the Princess Tower onto the King Tower, and he's going to get a little bit of damage here too before Mega Knight can be taken out. Oh, absolutely devastating for Ugwim, who had such a great start coming into this match.
That King Tower's down to 3,500. That's some serious damage we've seen.
Tempting for Clyde to almost run down that channel if you just wanted to end the game straight away.
Yeah, well, here we go. We've got Mega Knight coming down again. It needs to be a little bit more defended than it was in their last attack. But look, here we go, down to 582 on that tower at the top there. And a balloon coming through.
Being cleaned up by
the balloon might, it's going to take out the Goblin Hut in the middle there.
And a big attack coming down here from Clyde. Look, Ugwim had to be in that tower, but 500 health in 30 seconds might be a bit of a tall order. There's no poison on the side of either player, no guaranteed damage. And so it's going to be a tough ask. I'm not sure if Ugwim can get through there for Warlocks.
But look at that balloon, it got through with no defense, and the bomb's going to go off as well, but they
honestly,
needed it to go on the other side.
Yeah, wrong side, exactly. He needed to do that 500 damage. This is 4 seconds left. The game's going to be over. First point going through to Clyde. And that is Ugwim being knocked out of the King of the Hill from Warlocks, taking the first match. Nossel have
some angry faces coming out the side there as well, and probably quite rightly so.
Yeah, that was a, interesting choice. I'm not sure if I would have agreed on really sending the balloon down that side. He really needed to give everything he had on that attack, and balloons aren't going to clear units, and so it's not as if he was defending his King Tower from anything. It's a high-pressure situation. It's those kinds of choices that can really get you when you've got so much on the line playing for these massive prizes. I mean, this is the TCL Plex mobiles for your whole team members. You know, $500 smartphones coming through, plus the prize money from Vodafone New Zealand in the form of gaming credit or Vodafone credit, and the JBL audio equipment. And so there's so much that they're playing for in this map.
Certainly is, but look, let's hope that the teammates don't take it out on each other. We're all trying to do the best that we can here, so let's see if this game redeems it.
Yeah, so Aqua being played here on Warlocks. He's the 1v1 specialist. He'll be trying to take down Clyde to pull back the point for their team. Usually we see the 1v1 specialist either played at the beginning or the end of the King of the Hill. I think this is a really smart move for Warlocks to play Aqua now, because if you were to lose this match, whoever's left on your team has to not only do a reverse sweep and take out the entire enemy team, but the pressure associated with that is absolutely huge. And so strategically, this is a really important match for Aqua to try and take away. It won't quite secure a victory, but it's the first step.
Miner nicely defended with those goblins there.
Yeah, in the end, no, Dragon's just going to go to town. While he's doing that, the Princess Tower quickly taking it out, going to get away fairly unscathed. I think he took less than 100 damage off that for the Princess Tower, so that could have been a lot worse.
Now, we've got 3 towers that have had no damage at all, and we've got less than a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, that's right. 700 damage being taken on the side of Aqua. Not the ideal start, but it's all about composure. Can he maintain the game? Can he get this Mega Knight coming through? You know, we didn't see Mega Knights the entire time. And now we're seeing, yeah, they were in the last match. Both players had in this match. And Mega Knight taking out before he can do his jump. And here comes that Skeleton Barrel again. This was minor wall breakers on the other side. That being used to take them out quickly. And look, you know, honestly, not a fantastic trade again for Aqua. Managed to do the defense, get a little bit of damage with the miner coming down on the right-hand channel. Musketeer not able to do a whole lot there. 30 seconds remaining in this match. At this stage, it looks like we're definitely going to see an overtime. This might come down to the absolute wire, as if not every match so far has either.
Yeah, absolutely. It's anybody's game, as per most of these high-level expert player games are. But look at this attack coming down. We've got Skeleton Barrel, we've got the Mega Knight, we've got an Inferno Dragon. There's a miner, and the Goblin's taking out that. So what's going to happen?
And sudden death, it is now anyone's win. First tower in the game is over. King of the Hill, Nossel up 1 man, or 1 win to 0. Wallbreakers coming in on that
look,
tower.
The Wallbreakers can make it, they do.
Yeah.
That was very nicely played. The miner plus Wallbreakers combo.
Yeah, that's done more damage than all the efforts on the left-hand channel altogether.
And miner coming down at the bottom as well. We're down to 1100 versus 1500. That could be either of those towers. We're going to do it again. Miner and Wallbreakers. Oh, the Wallbreakers are tricked into going into the middle there, and so no damage.
Aqua is definitely back in this now. 1 minute 15 left to go. It's going to come down potentially to a tiebreaker. With 1 minute and 10 seconds, see, Aqua wants to try and move this fight to that right-hand channel, because if he can take down that Princess Tower and force them to use Elixir on that, that's really good for Aqua and Warlocks. But Clyde desperately trying to defend while attacking on the left-hand channel. Which player is going to be able to control this map? And that is the player that's going to walk away with this victory.
The miner coming through at the bottom. It's now below 1,000. In a tiebreaker, you know, we've got about 500, 600 difference at the moment.
So close. 30 seconds left in this match. 1,500 health versus 900. Clyde still doing a good job of getting down that chip damage. The miner going to town on that tower, but a huge attack coming through. It might be all over here. And the Mega Knight gets a big jump. Stomps down, not on top of the tower though. Doing his best to defend. Aqua throwing everything out there.
Look at that.
Clyde taking out Aqua, the 1v1 specialist from Warlocks, to secure the second win in the King of the Hill. And so this is going to potentially be the last match of our High School League Clash Royale Championship. It is down to the wire on this one. Warlocks have 1 player left. They have to stick in this to try and hopefully take out these all 3 of the players from Nossel. A fantastic position for Nossel to be in right now.
Absolutely is. This is so exciting. Now, I think the decks that we've just seen are quite different to other decks that we've seen them play before, potentially. and certainly different to other decks that we've seen tonight as well. So again, this could go either way. Let's see what Mr. Killer and Clyde have got for us. Poison coming out first. Actually, I don't think we saw any poison in that last game. Maybe that was the difference.
Yeah, no, we didn't. There was no poisons down. Mr. Killer, I think the only player so far in this tournament who has actually managed to run a whole or defeat an entire team on King of the Hill by himself. And so if anyone can do it, it is Mr. Killer. But we will see this match played through. It was so exciting about this was Nossel. They thought they were out before tonight. They've come back in from the losers bracket, defeat Funeral Parlour in the semi-final, coming through to the final, and now in an absolutely the dream position to potentially take out Warlocks, the undefeated team from Mount Albert Grammar School, in the final. They are literally one win away. And on the flip side, Mr. Killer from Warlocks has the world on his shoulders in terms of pressure. He has to try and take down all 3 players from Nossel solo to bring this back for the Warlocks. Such a tight competition.
Well, he's trying pretty hard. He's got Lava Hound, Baby Dragon, and Mega Minion coming through. And that is a pretty strong attack. And Miner as well. Look, the Lava Pups are going to make it to the tower, and Baby Dragon as well. Look at that, numbers going down. Almost at 1,000 at this point.
And another hut to distract on the Skeleton Barrel there. Great job so far. Mr. Killer is living up to expectations. He's handling the performance so well. Clyde not happy with the way that trade turned out. And the Barbarian even gets a hit through before he goes and down below 700 with those cheeky little Goblin Spears.
The Goblins from the Goblin Hut in the middle were damaging the Princess Tower. This is amazing. Down to 600.
Yeah, really good place. 50 seconds left in the match. 2 times Elixir mode now here. You've got Lava Hound heading up the left-hand channel with an Inferno Dragon. The ultimate counter coming down on the side of Nossel.
Now, will we see Miner come out as well? Miner's coming down the bottom, but will we see it come up the top? We're down to 450.
Slamming down. And 800 health left. A huge response there from Clyde, bringing himself right back into this match. You know, with 25 seconds left, though, we got a poison that could be sitting in the hand of Mr. Killer.
Here comes the Miner and poison.
Here it comes. That might
200, 147. This could be it. 66.
Oh, left with
12 left. We've got 9 seconds left.
Now he has to defend as best he can. Can he bring it down before the Miner's up and the Barbarian sudden death comes through? The tower's
Here comes the Miner. 1 hit. That's it. 3 seconds into overtime. Wow.
Clyde had a Miner on his Princess Tower as well. And I'm pretty sure it was 1 to 2 hits away with the big spade to come down to take that out in sudden death. But Mr. Killer is able to do it. He comes down and he takes out Clyde on the side of Nossel, keeping his team's dreams alive at becoming Australia and New Zealand's High School League Clash Royale champions. Oh, this is becoming really stressful.
Do you think Mr. Killer's sitting there going, okay, I just need a breath. I mean, I'm about to jump into another game and I've got to win this for our team and our school and our country. All the pressure.
If that wasn't enough pressure, I'm breathless sitting here myself, just thinking about being in Mr. Killer's situation. So let's see if he can cool, calm, and collectedly take out the next competitor from Nossel's side. Now, just to put everything into perspective here, Nossel just needs 1 victory. If Elec can take out Mr. Killer in this King of the Hill, Nossel will walk away as the champion for our High School League Clash Royale competition. Mr. Killer can take out Elec, he will face the final player on Nossel's side to, that'll be the definitive last game. That'll be the absolute final tiebreaker that it could possibly come down to. 2 minutes 30 left in this match, and both teams a little bit of a stare-off right now.
Yeah, no one's playing anything. We've seen this once before. And we waited down to the minute timer and then it was all on. Is that going to be repeated? This is super risky to do this in this particular game. But look, we're waiting for the clock to play down. At 2 minutes, is someone going to play something? Or are we going to wait to 1 minute? Oh, here we go. Just before the 2 minute, we see a Barbarian Barrel. It's on.
And both players now starting the game. 1 minute 50 left. Usually that doesn't happen until the 1 minute mark when the 2 times elixir comes into play. But I think players...
Too nervous.
yeah, getting started a little bit early. Can you imagine the nerves of being in this kind of situation and having to hold your cards for a whole 2 minutes? It was probably a little bit too much for Killer.
Your hands would be too sweaty, your phone might drop. That could be it, you know.
And so can Elec do it with Battle Healer? Yeah, not often we see Battle Healer, huh?
It is actually pretty powerful, but look, we're seeing Poison playing out on these 2 buildings.
Yeah, now the Goblin's coming through, taking out the Goblin hut, and then they'll be wiped. Both teams sort of equalizing out here. Not before the Goblins do a little bit of damage to that tower. And here comes the Graveyard. So Mr. Kill has changed up the strategy. Some different cards here, but still holding the all-important Poison.
But no Lava Hound this time.
Ooh, let's go.
I've been enjoying the Elixir Golem challenge this week. You know, just gets completely out of control with so many Elixir Golems and everything else going on the screen.
Yeah,
but look at this. Look at all these dragons.
Oh, a huge push coming in for Elec. But the Musketeer doing a great job of clearing all that up. We've got 15 seconds left. This Elixir Golem is coming all the way through. If you've been playing the event this week, you know what kind of damage these little guys can do. But the extra Elixir might be incredibly valuable here for Mr. Killer.
Baby Dragon, Musketeer, and the Knight coming through. We've got Poison and...
The first tower to drop here is going to decide this match. Both towers incredibly close in health. A little bit of control here on the side of Mr. Killer. He's got a little bit of field advantage. Less on Elixir, but more on the field. Here comes the Graveyard. Going to force the Baby Dragon and the Valkyrie to be played here. Oh, it's getting close.
And Poison as well. Look at that. Down to 700. And the Electro Dragon trying to clean up a few things there.
The Battle Healer
but
and
down
the
to
Elixir Golem.
600.
A scary combo. How is Mr. Killer going to perform? And the little pops of Elixir are really going to help. In overtime,
absolutely.
With 400 health, I think Mr. Killer is poised to really take this one out. He's got a lot of Elixir.
I think so. We've got
300, 295.
And wow, look at that.
Oh, man.
Now, we've seen, in that game, we've seen the combo of Graveyard and Poison used very, very well, and that's doubling the effect of the attacks and sucking all of the power out of that tower and taking it out. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really well performed by Mr. Killer. But I just want to create some story around what we are about to see, because this will be undoubtedly, there is no doubts about it, the final match for the High School League Clash Royale Split 1 Championship. After this match, the winner will be crowned Australia and New Zealand's best high school Clash Royale team. It has come down to the absolute wire. Both teams could not have come this far. Nossel starting off the night thinking that they were eliminated in the quarterfinals, now having run through the gauntlet in the losers bracket, taking out Funeral Parlour, losing the 1v1 and coming back into the 2v2, and now Mr. Killer, who was the sole player left for Warlocks, has now taken out both the other players. This is the same Mr. Killer who took out Kronos, the #1 ranked New Zealand player in Zero last week. This is the absolute playoff of the series. Mr. Killer versus Little Smash. This is the match where we will determine Australia and New Zealand's Clash Royale champion. And
this is super exciting. Both players need to hold on tight for their phones. Look, they've got the same things going on. Let's see what's going to play out next. We've got a miner coming out. Is that going to do a bit of damage? It is. And look at Earthquake. And an early Poison.
On both sides. I'm sorry, no, on just the, was Earthquake on the other side here. Little Smash coming through with a small attack. Oh, everything's on this. This must be an absolutely nerve-wracking position. You got to give credit to both of these players.
You don't want to be admitting your mistakes at this point. This is the game.
Mr. Killer coming away winning that trade, though. He's going to be able to stop the Mega Knight coming through here. Firecracker being pulled out. The log doing optimal damage. Using the miner to distract the Mega Knight here. Ooh, big attack. And the mini Peck is going to go to town, taking out the first tower. Mr. Killer.
One tower down. We're down. Look at the attack. We're down to 2,500, 22. It's below the Princess Tower.
Oh, man. Absolute huge misplay there from Mr. Killer. Unable to really defend against that Mega Knight. Now Little Smash is in the driver's seat. Here comes the Lava Hound on that right-hand channel. What can be done? Little Smash really does have a massive advantage right now. If he's able to just stay composed and really play this one out, he might just see himself taking his team to the Australia and New Zealand champion. Mr. Killer, all the odds are against him right now.
Certainly are, but look, that Lava Hound has made it to the building, and now it explodes. We're down to 1,400.
Yeah, great attack there by Mr. Killer. Not quite, unfortunately. He's just finding it so difficult to deal with that Mega Knight. He's got so many air troops, the Mega Knight just ignores them and walks all the way past them. And there's nothing he can really do to stop it. Oh, Mega Knight jumping on the King Tower, damaging it away.
No. It's down to 900, 600. But look, we had a double Mega Minion come through, and the lava pups are still going. That tower has gone, and now we're heading up to that King Tower, but 4,000 versus 500. I don't know that we're going to be able to hit that.
In the grand final of the Australia-New Zealand High School League Clash Royale, somehow Mr. Killer managed to pull back that tower. But is the Mega Knight going to be able to get rid of it?
One jump from the Mega Knight would do it, but look at it.
Here he comes. This is it. Ooh, the Barbarian stopped him. Look, the Baby Dragon is attacking. It's on the top side. They might get it.
I know.
Mr. Killer
the Lava Hound just did it. This is incredible. 152 versus 546.
The Earthquake goes to poison.
The Earthquake will take it out. Oh, wow. That was
Little Smash
so
with the
incredible.
Earthquake. Such an amazingly close match. Earthquake taking it out, which means the grand champions of the Clash Royale High School League is Nossal High School from Australia. Absolute dream run tonight. Congratulations, doing a phenomenal job. Mr. Killer just wasn't quite able to clutch it there on the last match. A huge, huge congratulations to Nossal High School.
Absolutely. And also to Warlocks for coming second as well. And, you know, every single game we've seen tonight has been so close and such high quality. And just all of the players have done so well and done their absolute best to represent themselves, their school, their country. Whoever thought that you could be entering an esports tournament of such a high level as this, and to see so many fantastic players that are so skilled? I guess probably you've been able to have a lot more practice over the last few weeks with the lockdown, and that's been perfectly timed for this tournament.
Absolutely, to get all the practice in, but an absolute, I just want to cover off again. I want to summarize the dream run that Nossal managed to do here, because they started off this morning, or this match tonight, not realizing that they were even competing in this losers bracket. They got there because of the unfortunate disqualification from Barnes Babes. So they had a second chance tonight to verse Funeral Parlour in the semi-finals, a match that they never got to play initially. They not only took out Funeral Parlour in a pretty close series, but then going through to fight Warlocks in the final, undefeated team from New Zealand. Phenomenal playoffs so far. Losing the first point in the 2v2 and then coming back to take out the 1v1, the King of the Hill, taking down Mr. Killer in the final King of the Hill possible in the absolute last moments of the game. Just a display of the finest and most, the pinnacle of really Clash Royale at the high school level. And so a massive congratulations to Nossal High School once again. So happy for them. And because of their performance tonight, they will be walking away with the High School League Clash Royale Championship prize pack, which includes a whole bunch of phone credit or their choice of Vodafone New Zealand, Vodafone or Steam, Xbox, PlayStation credit, the JBL audio prize pack, and the TCL Plex mobiles with 499 Australian per player. And so a huge prize pack they've just walked away with. So good.
Absolutely outstanding, you know, to be able to go back to school and say, hey, this is what we have won. We represent esports in our school and look at these prizes. So I'm imagining that with the next round of Clash Royale, we're going to see even more teams competing. We had 65 teams this time. Let's see if we can make it to 100 teams for the next round. And we have got some fantastic players. So everybody has done so well, and congratulations to everyone.
Absolutely. And that will conclude the High School League Clash Royale Championship for Split 1. We want to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors, Vodafone New Zealand, JBL, TCL, Conquer, and everyone else who supports us on our journey. Thank you to the schools and the players who manage to show up every single week, organize their teams. And if you're interested in competing in the High School League, any of the High School League tournaments that are hosted by LPL, head over to the High School League website for more information on when the next split is, and register your team straight away if you want to compete again next season for these amazing prizes. That is it for us, or from us, for this series tonight. Blendy, any final words before we sign off?
Well, look, just congratulations to everybody, and also thank you so much to all of the teachers at the schools that are prepared to put in the time to support their students in a new sport. You know, esports is only just starting to be recognised, and that's why we're able to have a high school league now, and this is really putting it on the map as a fantastic option for students to be participating in, just as good as any of the other sports that are offered, but we've got amazing prizes as well. And so look, just keep going everyone, and keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next round.
Absolutely. So a huge thank you again, all our sponsors, you guys, for watching tonight, and on behalf of the LPL and High School League production team and everyone involved in bringing this series to you, we just want to say again, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next season. Good game, good luck, and we'll see you later.
Ready when you are. It's going.